Ozone Park and Richmond as well. You know, it's like right in the middle, so
right,
should work out okay. But you know, we have a problem in Woodhaven, and it's the Q56 being talk about being cut. You know, and the paratransit, and you know, we're not gonna take it. We're not gonna go quietly, and so we planned a press conference. Well, depending on the council, they have a stated meeting on Monday, so we may do it early on Tuesday. A press conference to call attention to, you know, our community, because although, you know, on paper and to the big shots who have no idea what, you know, Woodhaven looks like, and the J line and the 56 or anything like that, you know, to them it may make sense to cut something there, but it's not realistic, and we're not gonna go quietly. We're not gonna take it, and we're gonna stand up. We're gonna fight, and we need everybody to fight with us, because you know, we got to make a big stink. You know, I understand.
We need to make a lot of noise on this.
Yeah, well, I understand that they got to make cuts. I mean, if you don't have the money, you got to make cuts, but it don't have to be on the backs of the people in Woodhaven,
right,
or on the elderly. You know, I mean, how are they gonna get around?
That's the hard enough. Listen,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
The Z line. Listen, you hate to lose anything, but like you said, they're going to make cuts. Right. And you know, when you hear them talk about cutting the Z line, you wince, but you say to yourself, well, listen, we still have the J line. You know, yeah, it's a hardship, but we still have that line. The 56 is a different matter altogether.
Right.
And you know, the fact that they took away some of the entrances to the train stations. You know, for example, at Forest Park, where there used to be two stairs there, there's no stairs at that end. So if you take someone who's about two blocks further on, and maybe a few blocks off the avenue, now for them, instead of walking 2 blocks to where they can catch a bus, if they have to go to Jamaica Hospital or any place else, now they've got to walk 2 blocks to Jamaica Avenue, and now walk about 4 or 5 long blocks to 85th Street, or the other way to Eldredge Lane, or 75th.
75th, right.
And then up 2 long flights of stairs, and that's just...
You know, there are people who can barely get on a bus. They can barely make it up the stairs. The bus drops down for them. How are they going to walk up 2 long flights of stairs to get on the train?
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't make sense, and it's not feasible. And, you know, I know they have to make cuts, all right? Cuts have to be made. Well, let's start at the top. I mean, there's no reason for your upper management to make the salaries that they're making. Okay? Take a pay cut. Take a 10% cut. There's no need for them to have cars, drivers, free easy pass, free. They don't have to pay to get on and off the bus. Well, you know, the train. Well, they don't use it, but they don't have to pay if they did. Okay, but yet they're going to take it away from the school children. How could you take away the free passes for school children?
I know, it's ridiculous.
Think about it. A family working hard, barely struggling to get by, now has to decide, well, I don't know, do we eat or do we send our child to school? What's it going to be? I mean, we figured it out. It's about $800 or so a year per child. I mean, how do you do that? That's a lot of money. And when you're struggling to get by, and when you're on one income and you have 2 children and you're paying $1,200 and $1,300 a month rent, how do you do it?
Yeah, you don't.
Okay.
You don't.
And now paratransit, they're talking about taking away the accessoride for the elderly. Well, the whole idea was to pick them up at their house and drop them off where they had to go. Okay, now what they want to do is pick them up and drop them off at the train station. Well, if they can't walk or if they can't get around, what's that going to do? How's that going to help them?
Yeah, I think the folks making these decisions obviously don't have anyone living in that situation or condition.
Doesn't make sense. And so we're going to get together, and our elected officials will all get together, have a nice press conference, get the word out, and we got to motivate the people of our community, because it's going to take a lot of noise. A lot of noise. Yeah,
and listen, you know, I know we have. I guess what they've talked about now is they've slated it for cuts, but it's not official yet. Is that true? I mean, we have time to
well,
fight.
They're gonna
correct?
Right. Yeah, they'll make a final decision, or it should start in June at some point. But you know what? They're gonna have to find another way.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to find another way. Why always on the backs of the regular person, the hardworking, you know, men and women? Why? Why on the backs of the union workers? They're looking to cut jobs at the MTA, not your executive vice presidents and senior vice presidents and assistant vice presidents and the assistant to the assistant. You don't need to have all of those jobs. Seriously.
Yeah.
You know, so they need to look at the top, and we're going to make that known to them.
Yeah, they need a real audit. You know, they need a fresh thinker to come in from the outside and really just streamline them.
That's why the Public Works bill that we passed in the state, you know, will do something to that effect, where an outside source has to approve, you know, expenditures of $1 million or more. I had a friend who worked in planning, and he made a good salary. He made $100,000 a year. That was a great salary when he worked there 10 years or so ago. And he said projects came in. They spent $1 million examining the project, reviewing it, figuring it out. Okay, we're going to do it. Let's get some bids. And they get some bids, and they sign a contract. Okay, and they pay a couple $1 million to a contractor to start the work, and then they change their mind. They've already wasted $3-4 million and done nothing. Okay, well, that's what the Public Works bill is going to do. But on the other end, on the day-to-day operations, they need to start cutting from the top, not the bottom, not the people.
I'm looking forward to this press conference. So this is going to be on Tuesday, you said?
I'm pretty sure at some point on Tuesday. We'll know better. We'll call it Sunday or Monday, and we wanted to have it on Monday, but the city council has a stated meeting. That's when they're all required to be there. So, you know, we have to figure it out. But it'll probably be on Tuesday, and we want, you know, New York One, all the TV stations, newspapers to get there and get the word out. That's the only way it's going to happen.
Yeah, we'll get the word out. We'll be there. I'm going to definitely make sure that we're there. And
you know, if it's cold and if there's a lot of snow, well, maybe we'll have it in my office or, you know, somewhere in somebody's office close by. We don't want to stand in blowing snow and all that stuff.
We're tough. We can do it.
Yeah, I know, but you want people to show up.
That's true.
Right, so.